Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening to some of you. Good morning to others. We are glad to have you joining us today. My name is Elena Popova, and I'm a National Disability Access Officer, coordinator for the Football Union of Russia, and I'm a disabled fan. And today with me, Alexey Smertin, Russian football former player, champion of England with Chelsea and ex-captain of the national team of Russia. Now Alexey works in the Football Union of Russia in position of president advisor and anti-discrimination officer. I would also like to greet Alexey and thank him for being here together with us. Today on the World Disability Day, we will speak about the perspective of disability. And this session will consist is an open conversation where we will address different perspectives around disability and share the work that the Russian Football Union is doing in order to integrate disabled people in Russian football. I would also like to mention that this webinar is organized by Integrated Dreams Association, is a non-for-profit organization based in Portugal, and that aims to promote an integration of disabled people through sport. Since the beginning of October, Integrated Dreams has been hosting these webinars that address different topics within the areas of sport, disability, and innovation. Also, for everyone who has questions, please drop them to the chat box or in the QA. And before passing the word to Alexey, I would just like to share with you our poll for today's session. I would kindly ask you if you could choose one of the options. And then by the end of the seminar, we could share the results with you. So, do you believe that football players can play an important role in the promotion of the rights of disabled people and contribute for their better social integration? Please, yes or no. And at the end of the webinar, we will share the results with you. So, Alexey, could you please introduce yourself and say a few words about your current work in the area of disability and inclusion?
Hi, Elena. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you, to be part of your team, because I'm team player, as you know. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, because I'm in Siberia, in my native town. Now, since a long time, I haven't been here, so that's why almost night. But which is good for me because I'm still active, being with you. I'm proud of being from Siberia because this, as you know, Russia is a huge country, and I remember myself when I was a kid. I wanted to play as much as I can, to achieve something, playing for local team, and then when I'm going slowly, step by step, towards Moscow and then to Europe. I was so happy to play with national team, but when I was young, I didn't think about this achievement. As a player, first of all, as a player, you don't think about anything apart from 90 minutes. You're playing on the field, you're thinking about your opposite side, thinking about the score, you're thinking about your recovery, and then preparation for next day, for next game. Sorry. So, but as soon as you finish your career, you understand, that football is something much more than just 90 minutes. It's not just around players, not just around the staff, not just around, the football fans on the stand. It's something much more, because this is, I would say, it's a global event, it's global sports. So which is quite important for us. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm with you, and I don't think about the football as a game anymore. It's like a tool, more likely, And I'm working for Russian Football Union as an officer. You already told, but probably more than 2 years, I was appointed as an anti-discrimination officer. And I told myself, Alexey, why not? Because it's a bit difficult for you to postpone, to I would say persuade someone who are coming to stand just to not support your team, just being against the team, opponent team. And I said, okay, but you're from a dressing room. You came from dressing room, and you know how important to have this kind of atmosphere on the stand, and even far away from the stadium. That's why I say, okay, why not? Because I played 7 years abroad, 4 years in UK, 3 years in France, and I saw, I had a huge experience, and I wanted to share. I wanted to send my message, including, of course, my former partners, from national team, to France. That's why, if you achieve something as a player, doesn't matter, how achievement is, but you need to do something good. That's why, being a football player, I remember, I was a Chelsea player, and I was thinking about my region. That's why I'm so glad to do something for my region, because I grow up here, and being a footballer, I focus on it, because sometimes players don't think about your future, after a career. I was thinking about this, and that's why I formed my own academy, where more over 1,000 players, including girls. So just shortly, I introduce myself, but just
No,
interrupt
it's
me,
very
Lena,
interesting.
because I
It's really
I can
interesting to
go
know
further.
more
Yeah.
a bit more than your career, that's your way. So it's great to hear some insights. So and I remember that you prepared a video, so you could share with us
Yeah. Okay, we
to
will.
know a bit more about you and your career. But I think most of the people, they recognized you and being a champion.
But
Shows.
but I haven't changed.
Wow, very impressive, and I completely agree with you that that was a great football
For me
festival.
too, Lena.
Um,
I haven't seen I haven't seen this video. Joking. You know, looks like it happened to someone else, not to me.
yeah, and I remember for how long we were preparing for this, and it passes so fast. But we will speak about this incredible event that we had 2 years ago in Russia. But now I suggest to talk about your football career, and you're a top football player with an impressive number of games and stadiums. And do football players usually notice that there are disabled people supporting at the stadium? Yeah, have you ever mentioned this, or maybe you have any stories with disabled fans that you?
Yes, we do, because I'm still football player, but in the past, especially in abroad. When I started playing for Bordeaux in France, I remember that. Because the disabled people all the time around the pitch. So when you go to through in, throw out, you see them. And sometimes, because I was quite a rude player, I liked sliding tackle, and sometimes, I touch the wheel, because you're sliding and you're going away from from the field. Yeah, I remember that. And they said, okay, come on, Alexey, come on, go on, come on, son. Yeah, it was great, because they were the closest fans to you, because just especially in Portsmouth. You remember, I was on loan in Portsmouth. This is one of my favorite stadium, because I love old school stadiums, where you can touch the first row. The supporters can feel, literally, they can feel the game. They can feel, the field, the ball, the emotions, which is good. And also, including, of course, disabled people. And I remember that in abroad, unfortunately, because when I went to France, it was 2000, 2001, 2000, yeah, and we didn't have any brand new stadiums, with simple access, to a stadium for disabled people. That's why, for me, it's a bit. I was surprised that how close they are to the pitch, but on the other hand, I was so happy to to feel atmosphere. It's like a theater, you see the supporters are very close to you, not like in Luzhniki in the past, when you see, okay, where are you? Where is my father? Okay, probably
But
him.
you could feel
Then
their support.
not him, it's no one, Here you can shake the hand of your friend, just taking the ball throughout and play. They feel the part of the game, which is quite important.
Mhm.
I mean,
And I think you, as a football player, maybe you also had like different events or like social moments when you met disabled fans to encourage them.
yeah, all the time, especially on Boxing Day in the UK. I remember in Chelsea, we went to the hospital on Fulham Road. Yeah, I remember that. And all team, so it wasn't strictly, you have to go. No, just tomorrow we are going to the hospital. Everyone came to this hospital. I remember that because I already told you, when you're quite successful, I would say successful, depends on success,
Of
but
course you are.
no, but okay, I'm not okay compared to my um, I don't know, my teammates from Barnell, yes, even probably yeah, but compared to Ronaldo, Messi, I'm a very average player. I know that, I'm quite uh, and but I already told you, when you achieve something, you have to. It's like a duty, you have to share with your information. You have to help, especially if your local homeland. You need to do something because this is your duty. Because you can't even understand how helpful for that. How important to people. Being supported by you, being supported by players, because this, you're like an example. I know what I'm talking, because I have an academy. I already told you, and then when you come over to Barnaul, my native town, I see how important to participate with them on the field. You some suggestions, some recommendations, how to play, how to achieve, be ready, stick together wherever. But any words from you, they're eating. Any words from you, for them, it's like a crucial motto. Like a
I can
crucial motto.
imagine when you went to the hospital and to meet disabled people, and I could imagine how impressive and how important it was for them just to see their idols coming to them, and maybe some of them they could go to the stadium, they could see you playing, but to see you close and shake your hand and just to have a conversation with you, it should be very, very motivating for them.
Yeah, probably, but I can't judge, because I'm from my angle. I can say that it's important for you, for normal people, to feel the same. I remember when we had possibility to host Olympic Games in Sochi. You remember
Yeah.
2014, in the Olympic Games, the Paralympic Games. It's very important to talk to disabled people, like you talk with normal people. And I remember that I had a webinar or something like that. I had a like yeah, I remember they told me, Alexey, if you are in, so don't talk to them
Different.
as a you see in the normal people, even they're stronger than you. They're stronger, to be honest, because if you have a problem, you make an effort much more than you. So that's why, when it came to hospital, okay, but I remember because I was ready for that. And your message is quite important to them, and but you need to talk to them as like inclusivity, like
The
they're
same way.
equal, all
The same
of
way. Yeah.
all of them. all of us, even I am weak. I know my weaknesses. I know my weaknesses. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I can run marathon. I can run ultra marathon, which will be very soon. But I'm still weak. I know my weaknesses. But their people, they have no weaknesses.
What do you think? What is the perception of disabled people in general? And do you think are there any changes from year to year? And um, how can football players contribute to change the perspective that disabled people have, that people have about the disabled people?
Uh, I already told you, yeah, probably about the contribution of professional players, but uh, we will do so. What we're doing in Russian Football Union, I'm quite happy because, as I told you, I was appointed to this role, and apart from this, we'd like to launch. I would like to form the sustainable department. Will be. Included on all. It's not just racism and discrimination. Also, the inclusivity. And it's for us. We have a team like I would say legend team. With the players who used to play for national team. We are doing some great events. In not only in Moscow. In everywhere. But that's what we can do. That's what we can do. We can use professional players and current professional players to help them, to involved in football, to involved. I already told you, playing just at 22 players. Yeah, that's it. But what about the rest? Even on the stand, fans, even out of a stadium. So, but anyway, we need to involve people, and we are doing for that. For them to feel the same, to feel equal. Uh, I I answered. No?
But
Yeah, because
also,
it's quite a bit um, when we are talking about this, I'm thinking um, I'm a bit how can I say emotion. It's my emotions because when you focus on the game, if you ask me, do you feel, Alexei, about supporters? No, you don't feel. You don't think about them. You think you focus on the game. During the 90 minutes. Otherwise, no chance to win. But before the game, after a game, yeah, yes, you do, because the game is just 90 minutes. That's it.
when you have emotions, I think that is the most important. So it means that you're not indifferent to this topic, and you're not indifferent to this situation. So you already mentioned that you played in 3 different championships, so in Russia, in France, and in England, and you played for a quite long time in a championship. And could you share with us what are differences and similarities on the relation between football players and disabled fans in these countries?
I wouldn't say there's a big difference, as I already mentioned. But when I played for a Russian club before going abroad, we didn't have good quality, top level stadiums. So that's why we didn't feel connection. I didn't feel. Probably I didn't even see the disabled people around the pitch, as I told you, because athletes, they're pissed around the pitch and you can't see anyone. But when I came to Europe, I saw them straight away. I already told you. That's why I know. But now we hosted a World Cup, and we built even more than 12 new stadiums, including, of course, Krasnodar. So now we can see, and for players, it's quite important to see disabled. For fans, I'm a fan. Sometimes I'm coming to the stadium just to see the game, and you see disabled people around the pitch, and you see that, and it's great. It's great. It's thanks to the facilities, because now we have good facilities. You see the video. I was quite happy because for me, important to be part of the team. And when I just finished my career, I was invited by bid committee to be the ambassador of Russian bid. When I was ambassador of a World Cup, okay, we were 30 or 25 ambassadors. But when you have when you receive the World Cup, but before 2010, before receiving, this was great job. And I remember uh, a lot of countries thought that we didn't have any facilities, any stadiums, brand new stadiums to receive a World Cup. But we told, okay, if we receive, we can build. This is a legacy. And now what we see, this is legacy, and everyone, including disabled people, can come to the stadium to see the the game. Even they're more likely, they're lucky. They're lucky people because they can feel the game. You know what I mean, feel? So it means being as close as possible to a pitch.
I think it is also important to be in the stadium and to feel comfortable, to
Mhm.
to go to the to use all of the facilities that you want. But when you say about the staying on the pitch, you can be close to the football game, but you cannot enjoy fully the atmosphere. And that is the special day when you go to the stadium. You wake up in the morning with the thoughts of football. You go to the stadium and you enjoy the whole day. So when we have these modern stadiums, it's also important because disabled people can also feel comfortable in this way from entrance of the stadium till leaving it. So it's really incredible. And as you touched the topic of the World Cup in Russia, and let me say that it was the most accessible tournament ever, and which we are very, very proud of it. And talking about this greatest football event that we had 2 years ago in Russia. What is the positive legacy of this tournament, and how did it contribute for better inclusion of disabled people in Russian
Mhm,
football
mhm, mhm.
organizations?
Um, Lena, if you ask me probably 10 years ago, exactly the same question, I would say, Lena, we played well. Yeah, yeah. All supporters were happy because we beat Spain. We got through the group, etc., etc. Now you see the scores, but now, no, I don't think about the game, just the game already. Sorry for repeating every time, but I'm yeah.
But
First of all, it's legacy, of course, the facilities, the atmosphere. We are proud because and for me, we showcased to everyone how the hospitality, how warm our country, and literally also because World Cup, as you remember, was in June, not now, with minus 15 18 outside in Siberia. So but anyway, um, so that's this is the most important, of course, for disabled people, all of us, can come to a stadium and to see the game, being part of success, be a part of this event.
And I could also mention that as a part of this legacy, we have even more disabled fan attending stadiums, and not only for the World Cup, but after the national team of Russia, games of national team, and also for clubs. And disabled fans. Disabled people started to be active fans, but what do you think about future, and do you think can we have in future more disabled people working and assuming leadership positions in football? For example, disabled person as a coach or president of the club, or a person who taking decisions.
Yeah, potentially, all of us, can do everything. It depends on quality. It depends on the skills, but for this situation, current situation with COVID, it's a bit difficult uh, to to think about something, in the future, to be honest, but I, I I I haven't seen any difference. I haven't seen. It's not at the game, Lena. You see, but if you play, if you ask me about the disabled people as a player, no, I would say, oh, it's a bit difficult, because there's different rules. You can't be as fast as Ronaldo, for example, even me. But
Or
but if you are
coach.
no, I can run longer, but not fast when I did before, because now I run marathon. But um, if you are talking about back office, I haven't I, I haven't seen any problem. If you understand, if you like football, and if you are good good quality manager, doesn't matter. You're coming by your step, or you're on the wheels,
So, and what
you
do you
know
think? What should be done for us to see more disabled people involved to football and on these positions as a person who can take decisions?
uh,
So, what should be done? So, how can we involve more disabled people to these positions?
uh, I think Russian Football Union as a part of FIFA and UEFA, needs to think about this, because we are looking forward to seeing disabled people, all of us. I already told you, it's we need to involve, because this is the program we are making now. We're making program. I hope as soon as possible we will form the Department of Sustainable Development, which will be quite important for all of us, including, of course, the disabled people, because we will focus on some programs for inclusivity. I'm talking about inclusivity, and I hope, despite COVID, despite this situation, we'll do that, and we'll have definitely. We already told you, and we created some programs for involving, to involve disabled people in football.
Do you think we need to change a perception of disabled people, or it's just up to them? So they need to show themselves and leave home and go to the stadium and then go to applying for work. What do you think is the essential?
Say again. Sorry, I didn't hear again.
Should we change
Say
our perception of disabled fans, or is it up to them? So disabled people need um, to go to the stadium and then to apply for work in this area. What should be done?
Oh, sorry, because say
I
again.
think I think the
I
connection.
didn't hear. Yeah, it's bad connection, because
Siberia.
what huh?
It's
Siberia.
Siberia.
Big it's frost, outside, so the China connection is bad. No. What can you do for that, or what perception?
Should the people change their perception about disabled people? What do you
They
think?
should. They should. We are working on it, but as you know, the football is global game, including, of course, Russia. So that's why, I can't tell you as an officer against discrimination or racism. We are working on it, even towards discrimination, and I know uh, the majority of people are coming to stand, to a stadium supporting your team, but there are some small group, minority, I would say, who can chat, who can shout something like that, but you can work on with them. But sometimes, it's useless, because they're already formed. They are quite adult people. They're coming do that on purpose. Sometimes I don't know. I wouldn't say this is dimension, divine, dimension. So I wouldn't say they're sick, but you work with them, but sometimes they don't even understand what they're doing wrong, and you work on it. We have some seminars with fans, with leaders in the clubs. We are working on it because sometimes you have to explain that you're not allowed to do that because it's bad. And because people sometimes it's lack of they have lack of education. Exactly the same with disabled people. Some of them, including us, our team, we are so I would say open, for them, to. But some of us, it's a bit difficult to understand that, all of us. It's
I
it's difficult
think
to understand, but the majority of people understand. But there are some small groups who are not understanding.
And I think there are some like bad assumptions. And if they see a person, for example, in a wheelchair, they might think that he also has some problems with his mentality or something. So which is really assumption, and we shouldn't judge people if they have
Yeah.
disability or not. So
Our our target, Lena, and the football is a big tool. It's a big tool,
yeah,
to involve disabled people in the football, to make them feel that they are exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's everything is equal, but it's our duty. It's our job. It's our work. And in football, because it's a great game. I'm talking not as a footballer. No, I'm talking as a part of Russian Football Union. We can do that. Thinking about football as a tool, not as a game.
and football
Yeah, yeah.
unites so many people. So yeah, you're
Mhm.
completely right. I completely agree with you. And Alexey, you're as a representative of the Russian FA on the position of anti-discrimination officer. Could you share with us how are you working to turn Football Union of Russia an inclusive and accessible space to work?
What are you doing now? Yeah. Yeah. We launched, the monitoring system 2 years ago. We are doing well, because we are going to the game, high risk games, and we have a report after this game. We are, and this report I'm sending to a committee of okay, the committee, disciplinary committee. So in the uh, from the at the beginning of this year, we had just 7 or no more than 10 cases of racism and discrimination, which is good, thanks to this monitoring system. What we are doing, and I remember what happened 2 years ago, before World Cup came to Russia. It was bad situation, and we increased, and we reduced cases of discrimination and racism, which is good. It's our job, our team. I wouldn't say about myself. No, I'm talking about all team. So because I'm I'm just a part of the team. You are part of our team also. That.
And I think we're also working to make the headquarter also accessible for disabled people. And
Mhm.
at least for me as a wheelchair user, also it's comfortable to go inside and to feel. Now we are working from home, as you can see, and because of the situation. But generally, go to the office. It's also
Yeah,
important to be
from
there.
February, since February, I haven't been to the office. Yeah, unfortunately, like this.
But let's wait and fingers crossed that we can go back to usual normal life very very soon and stay healthy. And we have a question also from our audience. So, Alexey, would the RFU be open to supporting recruitment program for disabled people in football? In the RFU, in the Premier League, and Russian football clubs, and other related organizations?
We will, yeah. I can't say about Russian leagues because it's not up to me. It's not my uh, cup of tea, I would say. No, but I'm talking about Russian football union. Of course, yeah, we will do. We will do. The most important thing in the future for me, for my team, to form a department of the sustainable development, which is yeah, which is crucial for us because we are focused on racism, discrimination, but we need uh, to do much more if we are ready for that. Okay, but they have Russian football union has youth football uh, academy programs, any academy programs. As you know, Russia is a huge country. I'm here 4,000 kilometers from Moscow. So imagine it, if from my native town to Vladivostok, much more than 6,000 kilometers, which is, we have a huge country. It's a bit difficult to cover all country, but we try to do that. And this probably it's not like um, sustainable development. It's not a priority of for Russian Football Union, but I would insist that it's very important because it's not. Sorry for repeating that, but it's not just football. It's not just about 90 minutes. It's much more.
And it's great that football can be accessible for all with no any distinction. Yeah, sorry. So that could be great. That person, all the people should be equal, and if you want to work in football, you can work on yourself to have special skills, and then you can also be involved. So that is great.
So interrupting you, Lena, but for example, how many former professional players coming from the field working in the back office? How many? Because as you know, because I have now
They are your
I'm
colleagues.
studying a few, just a few former players. How many players in total we have? Each country has, because few days ago I had a webinar with my colleagues from MIP program in UEFA. MIP, it's Master for International Players, for players who didn't want to become the coaches, So and I asked the Finnish guy who works as a technical director of association in Finland. So he said just a few. But it's quality. It's the skills. We're talking about football players who knows football very well. No, we are not just a game. We don't know the process. We don't know the finance. We don't know anything. You need to work. You need to earn. You need to have a good education for that, and including the disabled people also. It's sometimes much more often. Disabled people has a much more a bigger chance to be part of a football organization because they focus on it deeper than football players do. this, this is true.
But it's so great to have you as a person who is a former player and also is a person who works in football. So you're like two in one, and it's,
Yeah,
it's really
but I'm focused on social life. I'm social football life, because for me it's important. It comes from my heart, to be honest. It's something which is for me it's important because I'm so far away from Moscow, and I know how important to develop, and you can do that.
That's really important. I think when you work and you don't have emotions about things that you do, it's like a duty, you know. And you go to work and you go back home, and you cannot produce such a things if you do the same with emotions and with your heart. So that.
Emotions hungry. You need to be hungry. Yeah, I remember the occasion when I came back from Chelsea to Chelsea from Portsmouth,
Mhm.
and then Abramovich, Mr. Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea, invited Mourinho. And first meeting, I remember that he asked us, um, guys, you're playing in one of the best championship in the world, legendary clubs. You are top players, but you didn't win the trophy. You didn't win. You've never been first place. But Chelsea didn't win 50 years
Oh,
before he came. Yeah, and he said, let's win, because it's the career of footballer is too short. If you think about something about your future, in the future, so no chance to do something. And we started winning each game, in we became champions. We became champions, which is quite important. Then I
that's
remember that.
incredible. Yeah.
Mm.
So now we're about to end, and also to conclude, can we see the results of the poll to see uh, how can, yeah, football players
No,
play an
not yet.
important role? No, it's 93% that it is yes. So we all believe that football players can play an important role in the promotion of rights of disabled people, and
Crucial role. Lena, crucial role. And we need to educate new generation in the football. This is our part of education. That's why Russian Football Union now launch the program for educating young generation, because you need to think about this from the beginning. As soon as you sign and the first professional contract, you are responsible not only for yourself, for your parents, for your team. You're responsible for everyone around you, because everyone, a lot of people support you, and you are already, you became an example for new generation, younger generation. You see, because this is a part of education. That's why I know you need to think about this from this angle, because you have, as soon as you became professional player, you have a crucial role to change the mind, change mind of you are able to do that, especially for young people, for young footballers.
it's so
Yeah.
great to hear that, and I'm completely agree with you. So, and as we can see on the poll, so people see how important it is that football player can also contribute and to promote this role and the rights of disabled people. So, uh, thank you so much for sharing your vision, your ideas, and your perspective on disability. And
Thank
maybe
you.
you want to say anything to conclude the webinar, the session.
Um, I was a bit nervous, because it's a bit the particular questions, because I'm used to do I'm used to act by movement, by actions, by leading the ball, tackle someone, achieve. Yeah, but now it's a bit difficult. But I try to do something, and of course, emotions come a bit further when I'm going there. I try to catch up my emotions, but sometimes it doesn't work at all. But on the other hand, it's good, because if you are thinking about this, if you are not, if you are hungry, if you would like to change something, definitely you'll do that. And you need to be leader, because I know what it means, leadership. I know, as a captain of national team, you know what it
Of
means,
course,
coming
of course.
on the pitch, thinking about not only about your parents and the stadium, you're thinking about your whole country. So this is it's a bit difficult, you know. It's a huge pressure, and I feel still I have a pressure different from different I would say from different angle, from different yeah, but I still have pressure, which is good, you know.
Yeah, and it's great to see your emotions, see how live you are, but not just like, you know, person who came to this session and saying like, or reading on the paper that yeah, this should be done, that's something that we already have, but to see a passion, and when you see and when you feel this passion, I'm pretty sure that then we will see the results, and more disabled people and other people, because football is for all. So on the stadium
But
and
for me,
position.
especially for me, you know, as a football player, it's quite easy to do something, because you know I'm used to do by actions, not by words, not blah blah blah. You know, so it's our good point. I mean, with people who came from the pitch.
That's right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Alexey, and thank you, everyone who joined us today. It was a great session, and as of today is a special day. It's a World Disability Day. We still have 2 more webinars, and I will pass the word later to Jose Suarez and Johan Kemme, and the next one starts already in about 40 minutes. So. Oops, this. So yeah, you could see on the screen the next session, that is Road to Tokyo, where you can see where you can listen to Paralympic Games athletes, and another webinar is on the foundations. So join that, and I hope that you enjoyed this session, and thank you very much, and see you very soon.
Thank you, Lena. Bye bye.